Today's debate will be between two of my personalities, the pirate straw hat Grant and Jay. The hat will tell you who is addressing the audience. If the hat is on, you are hearing from Grant, and if the hat is off, then you are hearing from Jay. The debate topic will be, are companies like EZpass and Real ID good or bad? Jay will be arguing for these companies being bad, and Grant will be arguing for these companies being good. In this instance, Jay will make his initial argument, so without further ado, I will let Jay start with his 1 minute main argument. I believe these companies are very well intentioned ideas, but in the long run, they will lead to disaster. I think making companies that are necessary for us to have freedom of movement is not going to play out real well. If I want to maintain my freedom to fly from New Jersey to California, then I better pay Real ID money. If I want to drive anywhere, then I have to pay EZpass. These are monopolies with no competitors. If either of these companies decide to triple their rates, then there is absolutely nothing I can do about it. Do I stop driving to work because I won't pay EZpass? Or if I can't afford Real ID, do I lose the ability to fly on a plane? These companies are capable of single-handedly taking away my freedom of movement, and that scares me. I don't want a monopoly in the private sector telling me where I can and can't go. Many people are up in arms about their ability to track me, but I am afraid of being so poor that I can't afford to pay these companies for a freedom that I feel I deserve no matter what. For example, I spent time homeless and realized that without ID, I was no longer a citizen. Being unable to obtain Real ID makes me feel my citizenship itself is at risk. All right, now it's for Grant's 1 minute rebuttal. These companies have to be run as monopolies. These things can't work any other way. They were the first to innovate, so they get the rewards. Centralizing things are sometimes necessary, and in these two cases, it is necessary. You are just being a technophobe. You need to have faith that society as a whole can deal with problems when they become problems. The robber barons didn't start out as a problem, and instead they spurred innovation. When they became a problem, society dealt with it. Monopolies became a problem and laws were instituted to protect us from them. If these companies stop being a benefit and start being a problem, then we have a flexible government with many smart people who will handle it. Until they become a problem rather than a benefit, they deserve every opportunity to aid society. I don't think fear of potential problems is a good excuse for not dealing with current problems. For me to change my tune, these companies will have to become evil before I view them as evil. All right. Now it's Grant's 1 minute main argument. These companies are innovating society. They provide convenience and great benefit to society. Without EZpass, traffic congestion would be huge and people would lose a decent percentage of their lives during their commutes and travel while waiting for traffic congestion. I want to maximize the amount of time I have on this earth, considering that my time on earth is a really valuable commodity for me. As for Real ID, they not only give me back some of my time, but they make air travel safer. I'm all for a safer environment. I can't see how anyone would want to go to war with things that are so convenient that millions of people have said, I want that. If Real ID and EZpass are so bad, then they wouldn't possess the popularity that they possess. It seems like you see a good thing and desperately want to make it a dangerous bad thing. The best thing you can do for your fellow human beings is give them the highest percentage of time to themselves, and when these companies give me more time to use as I see fit, I want that. These companies provide the product that I want most, time. All right, now it's Jay's 1 minute rebuttal. I am not against either of these companies' products. I just know that bad things happen when competition doesn't serve as a brake against the members of the business community. They eventually get big enough where the government has to struggle against them, and one day companies like this will win this struggle. It hasn't happened yet, but it will. I don't want the private sector controlling my freedom to move about freely. Which brings us to the point of Real ID providing us safety. I would rather take risks than give up my freedom of movement. The idea that freedom should be free is false. Sacrifices must be made to be free, and I think Being at risk is worth being free. Your final argument is that you get more time out of your life because of these companies. It costs time to make money to pay the salaries of these people in these companies. I'm not sure you're getting as much time as you think. All right, up Jay's closing argument. These companies are monopolies, and that means that if they can create a dependency from society, then they pretty much become all powerful. It is true that before the dependency is created, they have to play nice, but after the dependency is created, what could we do against them? If traffic congestion becomes an unbearable problem without EZpass, then EZpass can tell the world, you will pay triple or I will shut down your roads. Say Texas makes abortion illegal and that rubs the employees of Real ID wrong. Real ID can stop service to people in Texas. Texans can no longer fly anywhere. Maybe maybe these things have to be done in a monopolistic way. Is the ultimate sign that the private sector should be excluded from it and instead it should reside in the public sector. The fact that we have private sector healthcare and pay more for healthcare per capita than anyone with public healthcare should tell us that some things belong in the public sector, and these two companies are examples of things that belong in the public sector. All right, Grant's closing argument. I'm going to make my final argument using a simple approach. I look at my life and how it has benefited from having monopolistic companies like this in it. I don't see the danger of adding things to my life that benefit my life. If I see a good idea and I want it any way that I can get it. I want these things, and I don't care how they are provided to me. I'm a realist, and my opponent is an idealist. These things are a benefit to me, and I want them. If they ever stop being a benefit, then society will deal with it. Until then, let this new fad of monopolistic companies providing convenience through centralization run its course. It could go badly, or maybe something unforeseen turns this trend into something more valuable to society than society has ever seen before. No one knows the future, but I know the present. I am all for these companies.